Like, I'm gonna speed through stuff, and obviously you can interject when you want. Like, I can't remember who came out third, but I remember liking the Rumble because there was a lot of surprises. So you had Molly Holly come out in her hero outfit. That was really cool. And then she got ambushed by Nikki ASH, which I loved. And she kept shouting, "There can only be one hero," which is dorky, but I also love because it's kind of her delusional hero
She is
character.
dorky, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Um, Ivory came out, which was amazing because I thought she was 40. Apparently she's 60. That's wild.
Bruv,
Yeah. On
bruv,
the
when
right.
I found out Ivory was 60 years old, that when she right, so basically, sorry, my nose. When she didn't take a bump, right, I was like, huh, she didn't take a bump. She's right at the center. She needs to take a bump. Like, she needs to, someone needs
Yeah,
to
yeah.
beat her up. She's right at the center,
Mm.
right? I was like, oh, she didn't take a bump. Okay, cool. And then I think the next day I found out she was 60. I was like, oh, that makes sense why she didn't take a bump. She's not
Mm.
stupid. She's not Fabulous Moolah. She's not May Young. So fair.
Thank God for that.
So fair enough. But bloody hell, you're 60. Like
No, she
people
she looked really good.
people say black don't crack. I'm telling you, she looked good for 60. I was not expecting that. I
Yeah.
thought she was much younger. So fair play to her, man. And then right the censor, I loved it. I can't lie. People don't like
Right to
right the
censor.
censor.
Right to censor. Right to censor is the greatest gimmick that I never watched live. It is a fantastic gimmick. I just love the fact that you got these conservative people going, "No, this product sucks. Everyone should be dressed, properly." And I'm glad that they brought it back. I just loved it. They converted the Godfather into the Good Father.
That
They
was
had
hilarious.
money. They should have gone with that for a long time, especially now that Vince loves being booed at his own shows. So, um, Right to Censor was a fantastic gimmick, and I'm glad what they did with Ivory. That was very creative. I don't know who came up with that, but that was very good. She cut the promo. Rhea Ripley picked her up. She was still talking to the mic. She got thrown out. She was still talking into the mic. It was really good. I didn't even care that she didn't take a bump. I didn't notice.
So they might Naomi's my crush as well, by the way, Pablo. They might make they haven't made her do anything yet, but they might make her do more because she cut a thingy promo. Oops, my bad. She cut a promo. You know what they could they do their after match promos. She cut an after
Okay.
match promo talking about Rhea Ripley and saying that she wants to help her and whatever. She said she's come back. She came to help. She wants to be a help to the women's division. Yada yada
Ooh.
yada. So I don't know whether or not she's actually gonna come back because obviously they said the same thing about Lita, and then Lita wasn't at any shows until WrestleMania, until Royal Rumble. So to be fair to her, she was on Raw as well.
I saw
After,
that.
yeah,
Oh my gosh, we gotta talk about that, but after the Rumble. Fuck it hell.
yeah. So she came back to Raw, but
Yep.
from when she came on SmackDown and challenged Charlotte up until the Royal Rumble, she was at no shows. So for me, like, if you're gonna do something with her, why was she at no shows? I mean, I get it, like she's gonna be at the Rumble, but you'd think that if she's saying she's gonna come back, if she's saying she wants to be for the title, you'd think she would have been at more shows. So maybe now she's gonna be at more shows.
But back to this Royal Rumble, yeah. It sucked when Tamina was the main culprit. Like
Oh, you're gonna
someone,
say the same thing I'm gonna say. Go on.
someone was trying to eliminate someone, and Tamina would beat up the person trying to eliminate someone, saving the person getting thrown out, therefore making the match longer and harder to win. It was so dumb, and I know I assume you've read the reports. Shane McMahon was the main guy responsible for setting up the both rumbles,
Oh,
and
the
that
both
makes sense.
Rumbles.
Both
Oh, I
rumbles,
didn't
and
know
that's
that.
it makes sense as to why they were so disjointed almost. Because I don't want to say shit because the women's rumble they still made it work, but apparently people didn't know who they were eliminating. People didn't know when they were supposed to get eliminated, and it makes sense because you see things happening, and they're like, why is the camera missing all of this action? Tamina was God bless Tamina. Summer Rae is apparently a legend.
To be fair,
Kenny
she was a legend before the Royal Rumble started. Apparently, they were really calling her that.
Why? What did she do?
I didn't say it was. I didn't say it was right. I didn't say it was true. I'm just saying this is what they were calling her from before. They were saying WWE legend Summer Rae, and I was like, okay, and I just left it at that. I wasn't even gonna argue the point. Let them pick who they want to pick as their legends. And I'm not in the mood for it.
Apparently, she's won 7 matches in her career,
Yes.
but she's a legend. All right, cool. Kelly came back. Why? Um, Kelly
They were always gonna
is
bring back Kelly.
that's the thing. Kelly will always say yes to coming back, right? Because what else is she doing? And my favorite thing about her is the way she runs the ropes. She will
Yep.
stop and then do a 3-point turn, like she's moving an 18 wheeler. I think she botched one of her special moves as well. It was just fantastic. The Kelly highlight reel.
She botched the Kelly go round.
See, if they did what they did with Melina with Kelly, I would have understood. That makes more sense because God bless Kelly, nice to look at and everything, but in the ring it wasn't her strength. Melina was very good in the ring. Let's not beat around the bush here. She's still doing great work for NWA and Impact here and there. So Melina deserved better. Um, yeah. Do you have any thoughts on the match? I could go on forever, so I want to hear you speak.
Okay, so my theory on Melina, I didn't even say it then, did I before? My
No.
theory on Melina was that they did what they did because they wanted her, they were allowing her to get her full entrance. So I think that they allowed her to get her full entrance because obviously if she comes in the middle, she can't have that. It's like for example having like Undertaker as number 1 or 2. Although he's come in the middle of the Rumble before and had a full entrance, but it's like coming in number 1, number 2, and
Right.
having a full
Yeah.
entrance. Melina had the full thing in it, the paparazzi and everything. She got all that, so that was good for her. The other thing, I think that it may have actually been a botch as well. I'm not saying it was, by the way, but it could have been. If you see how Sasha puts her out, it
Mm.
seems like it could have been a botch. I know it wasn't. I still feel like it wasn't. But if you just look at it and look at the way it was done, it looks like it could have been a botch. The same way how when I first saw Kofi's and even afterwards, I thought it wasn't a botch. It's only later on down the line I started to believe it was a botch. But at first, I didn't think Kofi's was a botch. I thought they were deliberately telling the story that Kofi tried to put his feet up and failed. That's what I thought they were telling
That
at
was the
first.
story. The story was this man was once good and now he's too old.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, great storytelling. Well done, Vince.
he doesn't even need to be the guy to do it anymore. Like there's other guys that have been doing it, so he doesn't actually need to
I
do it
yeah,
anymore. And Naomi was doing it before in the women's, so they didn't even need to
I
use Kofi anymore if push come to shove.
I I have a lot to say. So first of all, I like your theories, but I think that giving her the full entrance doesn't mean they need to get rid of her. They could have held her on for a few more entrants. Give her about 5 minutes. Come on, Kelly and Summer Rae and all of these people had longer stints in Melina, who is someone who could still go. And when you look at people like MVP who got a job because of his performance in the Rumble, I give her a chance. Um, I don't believe it was a botch. I just feel like possibly Melina didn't know when she was going to be eliminated, and Sasha had to tell her in the ring. That could have been a thing. And Kofi's botch was sad, but this is what happens when you don't pay off stories in the right time. When you're trying to build too much heat with a character by having them lose over and over and over. This is what happens. Kofi should have won the Rumble 5 years ago, maybe. Definitely that year that he was going up against Brian.
So are you done talking about the women's Royal Rumble? Because if you are, I've got
Um, Well, no. Cameron came through, and I really like Cameron.
Cameron
Ariane,
was good
she
when
had a
she
match
came in.
yeah, she had a match with AEW early on in the pandemic, and she, in my opinion, was the best worker in the ring in that match. She came back here and she did really well. She got more of a shine than Melina did. I hope Cameron gets a
I
job
agree.
offer because I think she wants one. It'll be good because we could probably get some payoff to this terrible Sonya Naomi storyline, which has been it started off really well. It had a lot of promise, and then it's been vinced. So
It's been Vince. I love that one.
Sonya's got a great look. Sonya's got a great presentation, great moveset. The story that they told was good in the Rumble, how she went after Cameron. I like how when Naomi came out, she like tapped Cameron to check she was okay, and then just went straight for her. Uh, that was it for me. Charlotte being, I don't, unless the Rumble is for the champion shouldn't be in the Rumble because the Rumble has been established as a one-way meal ticket to Mania for a title match. Why are the champions in the Rumble? I will never agree with it. I don't like it because now Charlotte has to lose the match. So she's lost on her way to the big match where she's defending the title. The Bellas came back. Nice, cool. Brie Bella with the yes movement. She can do it now. Cool.
That was never
Ronda
gonna
Rousey.
stop her from doing. To be fair, she was doing that anyway. Like I know that
Yeah,
I know Brian was there before
she
after
went doing
she
it before
left.
Brian.
No. I'm saying I know I know that she was doing it after Brian.
Yeah, before he left. Yeah.
I know that he was doing it.
I know what you
I
mean. She
know.
was doing it
Yeah, she
while
was
he was
doing
still in
it
the company.
when they were still in the company, and she
Yeah.
still got a good rapport with them. So I'm not surprised that they allowed her to do
Of
it.
course. Her mum's
But
married to John Laurinaitis. Of course she's good in the company.
yeah, they can't do jack to her.
She's good too.
Unless they get rid of Laurinaitis.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was nice to see them. What's her face came back. Ronda Rousey came back. Um, yeah, it was cool how everyone stopped what they were doing because it was very different to when Mickey James came out. Because when Mickey James came out, and thank God that they played hardcore country, I felt that was a big deal because they could have very easily played her generic WWE theme. They had her come out with her belt, but they called it the Impact Women's title, which funny Vince. But when Mickey came out, the girls were still fighting. But when Ronda came out, everyone was like, "Okay, we're gonna get our asses handed to us, and we're just here waiting for it. Like, what do we even do?" I thought that was cool, but I don't know if I'm a big fan of Ronda in the ring because I didn't watch her first run. I wasn't watching at that time. So I know Ronda from her UFC days, and she was very good until she got her ass kicked by Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes. So me, I'm just like, are you here just because you couldn't do it in the octagon anymore? And her promo on Raw, where she literally read off of a teleprompter, did not excite me at all to see Ronda ever again. So what can I say?
Let's go back to the Rumble because I haven't finished
Yeah,
yet with
yeah.
this Rumble. Oh, flip sake. Okay, so have you got anything else to add?
Women's Rumble, no.
Okay, let me have a quick look at my notes because my notes are on the
Uh,
other screen, so my head's gonna turn this way.
all right, really quickly, I wish Bianca would have won, but I'm not angry with the winning. It's a good choice.
I would have preferred Bianca to win. Out of
Yeah.
everybody, it would have been Bianca for me. But like I said, I'm gonna get into that. Yeah, so Sasha and Melina started with number 1, number 2. Sasha should have been Iron Woman.
Oh yeah, I agree. She should have been in Final Four.
Now, she may have been still partially injured. Maybe. Which begs the question, why the hell did you bring her back on SmackDown? Why did you bring her back on SmackDown? They named so many surprises, right? They brought so many. Let me turn my fan. Probably turn it on in a minute again when I get hot. They brought back so many people, mentioned so many people, yeah. So this person's going to be in the Rumble. Flipping Molly Holly's going to be in the Rumble. Lita's going to be in the Rumble. All these people that they mentioned was going to be in the Rumble, right? And Sasha Banks was injured, so nobody knew that she was coming back, and you brought her back on the SmackDown before. Why didn't you just let her have the surprise pop? And if she's not injured, why didn't you let her be Iron Woman? And then you eliminated her. You eliminated her straight before you brought in Bianca Belair. When the story was right there to be told.
Well,
Okay.
it goes to a lack of storytelling ability as well, because like either a casual or hardcore fan knows who Sasha Banks is when it comes to like women's wrestling. So if you have her going all the way to like even final six, you've got someone for people who don't really want to root for anyone, someone to root for. Sasha Banks is the girl, the woman. So eliminating her just took the wind out of the sails, and I felt like you could feel it in the arena that everyone was just, okay, what's the point? And as you said, they could have done a masterstroke with Sasha Bianca again, because that was a very good match.
It was upsetting, to say the least. I think the last like 6 women, like there's a difference between the women and the men's, right? The last 6 women, I would say, that's the one thing I will say that I enjoyed is the fact that it seemed like any of them could conceivably win. You
Yeah,
knew you knew it was gonna be Ronda. Like, come on.
yeah, yeah.
But any of them could have conceivably won. Who was there? It was Charlotte, not Becky,
Yeah,
Charlotte,
Becky.
Bianca,
Mm,
Ronda, Shayna,
mm.
Rhea, and I think there was one other person. But if even if you take those oh,
Yeah.
Lita, that was it, Lita. So those 6, I think they were the last 6. Any of them could have conceivably won, and you wouldn't really have batted too much of an eyelid.
Mm.
Like, so, and it would have been nice if any of them won. Having said that, I wanted Bianca to win. I understand them not letting her win it because it would have been back-to-back rumbles, and I understand that.
Yeah,
My
they've done that before.
irritation, they've done that before. My irritation, and that's how I knew Drew wasn't winning. Again, it was Brock, so again we knew, but that's how I knew they wasn't going to give it to Drew again, because Drew's dropped down so far down the pecking order that they wasn't going to give
Yeah.
it to him again just yet. But for me, if they weren't going to give it to Bianca, they could have given it to Rhea. I don't think Charlotte should have gotten back to the final 6. Personally, I would have replaced Charlotte with Banks. But yeah, eliminating her and then flipping bringing in eliminating her and then bringing in Belair straight afterwards, that to me was a misstep. Like there was so
Mm.
much stuff they did that I just looked at and said, "You guys are on crack, man." As Dos as, as Dos in the chat so elegantly put, so correctly put, the whole Royal Rumble was just planned terribly. Like even that, so much of what you're telling me now makes so much sense. That when you
Yeah.
said about they didn't know, people didn't know who they were eliminating. That makes
Mm.
sense because Zelina's not been pushed to the moon. She was the one who eliminated Banks. That
She won Queen's Crown though.
so what has she done besides that? She's won the tag
Isn't she
titles.
a champion?
She's won the tag titles. Yeah, and now has no challengers because they've got rid of all their women and there's no tag team. There's no tag teams in the women's division.
Way
So
to dominate a division.
good for them.
Yeah,
Um, but she's not done anything really in since
I
then,
agree.
since winning the Queen's crown. She got murdered by Bianca Belair the other day anyway. Like Bianca Belair destroyed
Yeah.
her, and she's not done that. She's not been pushed at all. So for her to eliminate Banks for me was ridiculous. It's just
Yeah.
utterly ridiculous to me. Uh, anyway,
It was
man.
just a cheap heel he attempt. It just it didn't come off well. It was very sad, and you saw it with the men's one, which we'll get to at some point. Uh, yeah, I won't say any more, but I think you might know who I mean. A
I know
certain
exactly
phenomenon.
who you mean.
Yeah,
I know exactly who
yeah,
you mean because I was already
yeah,
thinking about it. But we'll discuss it when we get there. But yep, I was thinking the exact same thing.